Okay, I'm going to go over the 17.3 notes, which is the law of cosines. So the first part of the notes is just to show you how we get the formula. If you want to skip ahead, that's fine. It's not necessary for you to know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start off with any size triangle that I want. And keep in mind, this is not a right triangle. I'm going to go ahead and put A, B, and C here. And the lowercase letters are going to be across from this. So this is side B, this is side A, and this is side C. I'm going to take this triangle and draw an altitude right down here in the middle, which means that we have 90 degrees there, and this is really the height. All right, since I know this full length is B, if I let this little piece be X, this side is going to be B minus the X. All right, I'm going to go ahead and relate this side of the triangle using A as a reference angle and using X and C. X is adjacent and C is hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse, think of cosine. So we're going to set up cosine of angle A is actually equal to adjacent, which is X, over hypotenuse C. I'm going to solve this equation for X. So that means I'm going to multiply both sides by C. So X equals C cosine of A. All right, now let's look at this side. I have a right triangle. So I'm actually going to relate these three sides, and I'm also going to relate these three sides using the Pythagorean theorem. Let's start with this side. So looking at this side, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So it's really x squared plus h squared equals c squared. All right, and then on the other side of the triangle, I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. B minus x is this full length of A. All right, I'm going to go ahead and multiply this out here. So this gets you b squared minus 2bx plus x squared, and then plus the h squared equals a squared. So this is just the part that multiplies this part out. All right, but looking at the other equation, notice x squared plus h squared is c squared. So this right here is actually c squared. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that. Now keep in mind I still have a b squared minus 2bx here, and I still have equals a squared. All right, I do know that x is, oops, I am not quite all the way in there. All right, I noticed that this right here is actually equal to x. So since it's equal to x, I can go ahead and replace the x right here. So I have b squared minus 2b times x, and x is c cosine of a. I still have my plus c squared equals a squared. All right, I'm going to move everything to kind of flipped and put it in the right order. So I'm going to start with a squared on this side. A squared equals b squared, and then I'm going to put the plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a. This is one of the formulas for the law of cosines. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write down all the different orders that we could have of the same exact triangle. Keeping in mind, all I had to do is switch the letters to come up with these new formulas. So our new law of sines equations are